Okay, people of God, welcome. Good morning, everyone. How are you? So sometimes these days you should be showing your faces. So let me be seeing you. It's not every time that it's only my face that will be on the call. Huh? Good morning, everyone. Aha! Some people are going to school. You're heading to school.
Yes, so I just
Okay.
got to school.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you, ma. Good morning.
Good morning. How is everyone doing? Hope you rested. Yesterday was public holiday, and I know some people were happy and chose to rest. Hope we are okay and you rested well. Hello? Who is answering me? Did you rest?
Hello, good morning, ma.
Morning. Welcome, welcome. Okay, everyone. I'm hope the fact I know you rested and you were excited about the holidays. We still pray for hope. Okay, someone said I couldn't really rest. Well, it's well. Yes, all of us in the morning states. Wishing our president safe journey back to the maker. All right. Okay, so let's kick off this morning. This is like a popular demand because Vicky had been here, so I'm not going to waste time reading her profile and all that. She can tell us all the beautiful things she's been doing. She was here on Friday, but we didn't have time. She came in with Augustina, and they didn't have time to actually dig deep into what we are supposed to learn, just to help us kickstart our online tutoring. So she's here today, just all by herself, just her. She's going to take 1 hour and do whatever she wants with it. If she asks us to stand up, we'll stand. If she asks us to sit down, we'll sit. All we know is that today we are learning how to teach adults and earning in dollars. And that's the earning part is the most important part of all this whole thing that we are doing, the earning money in dollars. That's where we are making all the impact and everything. So everyone, please can we use our best emojis to welcome Vicky. Hi Vicky, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
You're
everyone.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
so thank you. So I'm so happy to have everyone here, and I'm happier to be here.
Go ahead. I've muted the person.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, Miss Flora, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it, and don't take it for granted. Thank you, everyone, also for being here to hear me say whatever I'm going to say. So I would just try to be as specific as possible. Because when I was thinking about, okay, we're going to have a practical session, what exactly am I going to do? At some point I was thinking, should I fix one of my lessons for this time and show you the live like a simulation of one of my classes. But then I thought again that, okay, that's not really what you need because a lot of us are trying to land jobs. So that's where we want to start from. So yeah, we're not going to be, I'm going to talk about the teaching, the art of the teaching itself, but that's not where we're focusing. We want to see how starting from today, as in right after the call, even during the call, you can start to take intentional steps towards getting to that point where you are earning better and actually making impacts globally. So I want to also put out a disclaimer that don't be I'm not overdriven by money. Money is very important. Business is very important. It's very important for us to make money in foreign currencies, especially for us in Nigeria because of the economic situation. But I don't want you to be driven by it, because if you're driven by it, you may get so blinded that you don't focus on what would actually make what we're doing sustainable. Because the idea is not just to earn 1.5 million naira, 3 million naira, 5 million naira in a month in Nigeria. The idea is to actually build wealth and a system of impact that is sustainable and can continue to provide wealth for you. So that's the idea. So I want us to put that in front of us as we commence, so that we're not really driven by we're not driven by money. So I know somebody is saying, yes, impacts and sustainability. Absolutely. I know somebody is saying, just show us how to make the money first. We'll decide what to do next, because that's typical Nigerian. But please, yeah, not the money first. Because if you're focused on the money, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and you won't build anything sustainable. You might hit it 1 month, but that will be it. So we're talking of wealth. We're not talking of escape from poverty. We're not talking of money. We're talking of wealth, and wealth transcends money. It transcends monthly pay, and it goes beyond that, if you get what I mean. All right, so I'm sharing from Google Docs this morning because I had a lot to say and I wanted to make sure that I don't miss anything. So I'm just going to be switching between tabs just to see how quickly I can show you some things, and then we'll be back to this particular document. So this first step, like I said, I want to show you practicable steps that we can follow starting from today to get, making global impact and start the process of creating wealth. Okay, so I would try to be as direct as possible so that you can know exactly what to do. I know I've attended a lot of trainings like this on online tutoring, and they just beat around the bush and tell you information that you can find online. So I will try not to do that so that you can start today. Okay. All right. So the first step, and we dealt with this last week, is prepare your tools and teaching space. So I'm not going to go through it in details. We talked about laptop, good internet, headset, lighting, and a quiet space. We talked about all of that last week, so I'm not going to dwell on it. Now, because I'm focused this morning on teaching ESL, English as Second Language, later I'm going to give tips for teachers who are here and are into other teaching areas. I'm going to just give general tips, but I'm focused this morning on ESL. That is people looking to go into teaching English as second language. So number one, like I said last week, you have to understand that you are a native English speaker. You are a native English speaker because this is the language we're born into, and we interacted with this language all through school from primary level, and also you're a native English speaker, get that right? So on that level, you are qualified to teach foreigners or people looking to learn these platforms. Please, can you hear me? I just had a twitch.
Yes, but
okay.
We are back.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so because some of these platforms would require that you have a certification. So most of the platforms, the thing they will tell you is that even if you don't have a certification, if you're a native speaker, you can apply. But take it from me, because I have the experience, it matters a lot because those platforms work with algorithms. And I'm starting with platforms because when you're getting started, because you're in Nigeria and everybody that you know is Nigerian, and Nigerians will pay you in Naira. If you charge a Nigerian person to pay you, for example, 15,000 Naira per hour, they would hardly do so. 15 15,000 naira per hour, that is approximately $10 per hour, right? But if you are charging that to clients from around the world on the currency of the US dollar, it makes more sense. So this is why we are talking about third-party platforms to start with. Then later I would tell you how you can switch into a personal brand. Okay, so we're starting with third-party platforms. Get certified. So like I said, it improves your search ranking algorithm. These platforms work with algorithm. So teachers who are certified gets pushed up the algorithm, list more than tutors who are just merely native speakers and they are not certified. Then it helps to build trust, increases opportunities, of course. Now, the free option, and this is the certification I started with, is the Teacher Record 120 or so certificate. So please, you can get this online, and that's the link, teacherrecord.com. Just check it out. It's something you can start today. So you can get it's just 120 hour. It's text-based, by the way, a bit boring, but you just have to take it within a week or two. If you space it out properly, you should be able to finish that, and you can start today, as in today. All right. So other paid platforms that are maybe video-based and more intense, we have the TOEFL.org, Premier TOEFL, International Open Academy. So you can find, you can get certifications from these platforms. All right. So the step 3 before you apply is you need a professional profile photo. Now this it's very boring, actually. It is. It's text-based and very boring. Just a lot of plenty text, the Teacher Record. But just do it, 120 hour. All right. So before you apply, you need a professional profile photo. Just like social media works, people don't know that the quality of your video, for example, on Facebook, on Instagram, actually influences how far the video goes. I don't know if you've noticed that. Then the quality of your audio as well. So those things are important. Those are the metrics that the algorithm uses to push people forward. So you need a professional profile photo. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely, Augustina. Okay, so you need a well-scripted introduction video. So what I would always say, yes, please, I would share it, definitely, Rachel. So what I would always say is come up with a script, a video script. I have a video script at the end of this video. At the end of this resource, I'm going to show you. That's exactly what I used for application on some of these sites. So come up with a video script, write the video script and cram it. Or if you are very fluent, you can just learn it and make a video. Now, the video you're going to make must be high quality. Please make a high quality video and get it ready for these platforms. That is also something that will be required of you and will push your profile forward. Now, the reason why I keep talking about pushing your profile forward is some of these sites are highly competitive, right? There are so many teachers and students are really looking for the best. So your video. Then your teaching experience, you have to put your teaching experience together. I see some teachers who have had experience from, for example, me, I started teaching when I was in 200 level in the university, but I was not teaching full time. I was just doing lesson. I just saw some children, that stay close to us on campus. They were struggling in math and their parents would always complain. So I said, I can teach math. And I started teaching them, and then other students joined. And, I wasn't doing it so much. It was just like a few hours after my own school every day. So I would just take the students. So of course, it's part of my experience. So my experience does not start from 2018 when I started teaching as a graduate. It started like 3 years before that. So I always say that I have almost a decade of experience teaching, and that is absolutely true. So your experience includes the jobs you did full-time, the jobs you did part-time, and home lessons, and even the jobs you did as a freelancing or volunteer stuff, whether you volunteered at an IDP camp or whatever. It's all part of the experience. So put it together and so that you know you have a more robust experience, and you can include that in your video script. Now, if you don't have a lot of, a number of years of experience, you can skip that in your video script. So instead of saying, I have over 1 year of experience teaching English, please just leave it out. Don't talk about the experience, talk about your skills, leverage other things. Do you understand? So the idea is to silence the areas of your weaknesses while amplifying the areas of your strength. Okay, so that you don't have to lie, and you don't have to give the people an impression that you are a newbie. Okay, so step 4 is to start application. So I'm going to highlight 3 major platforms that I started out with and just tell you in details what it looks like. So let me try to share my screen on, I have all of it in this document, but let me see if I can just show you the interface for the Native Camp, for example. So the Native Camp, this is the site. So when you go to apply now, you create an account, you put in your email address and a password, then go on and on. They will ask you a series of questions. Then you would write a test. I'm saying this to you so that you can start today. So you would write a test, and this test, sorry, I'm trying to go back. And this test is an English test. It's quite easy, but some people fail it. So you have to have, I think, 80% and above, but some people fail it. So, but you go on YouTube and type Native Camp test prep. You're going to see some people have made a video about it. It's the same question year in, year out. So it's the same set of questions. Some people have made videos about it. So you study it, come back to the site and do the test. All right. So after you pass the test, 80% and above or so, after you pass the test, you are going to be booked for a demo lesson, which you're to take. So the demo lesson is not with a student, it's actually with one of the administrators of the platform. So they come online and get you to teach. It's actually like micro teaching, but online. You do that for 25 minutes. Some of the administrators would cut you before 25 minutes, depending. It's either they're already impressed or you're not doing so well and they're saying, oh, it's okay. If you have a bad internet on Native Camp and there's any signal of weak, there's any information about weak signal strength, you are not going to pass the demo. It's strict like that. Native Camp is very strict, so you are not going to pass the demo. And if you don't pass the demo, they would give you a repeat opportunity. But sometimes they would even tell you to apply in the next 6 months. So for me, I didn't pass the demo the first time because my internet was bad. So I had to use another email address to apply for the opportunity, right? Because I was trying to write an email to the administrators, they were not responding. So I used another email address to apply, of course, the same identity, but I used another email address and it went through. I was able to apply again. Okay, so for accents, like I said before, you don't need to form, you know, when you are forming accents, it will show. So don't just disgrace the nation. Just stick to your natural accent, but be fluent. Try to be fluent. I'm sure if you're going into teaching as English as second language, you have a level of command of English. Okay, so just be fluent and use proper grammar. Be natural. You don't have to form anything. But if you can form an accent, if you can mimic an accent, that is definitely very good. Okay, so I would just move on. So the pros is, of course, you don't need to find students. The platform looks for the students. The students check you out on the platform. Again, this is where quality videos, quality profile, certification, this is where they come in, because it's the students that are checking you out and see if they want this tutor. And then you get to choose the number of hours you want to work. It doesn't really affect your profile, like the next one I would talk about. Then the cons is that there's strict internet requirement, like I told you. and then the pay is low. Yes, the pay is low. The highest you can earn on Native Camp per hour is around $9.8 per hour. So it's relatively low. So for me, I used it for a few months and I potted because it's not me and them that will be doing. You actually, and sometimes students pick 25 minutes, and 25 minutes that is around $4 per hour. That is really low. Okay, so yeah, that is the cons of Native Camp. But of course, it's a good starter. You can start with that. If you're just starting out, you can start with that and build from there. Then, of course, to boost your algorithm, professional video certification, active login, good reviews from trial students. This is very, very important. Something that pushes the algorithm to your favor so much is reviews from trial students. So on Native Camp, you get trial students, that is students that are just checking you out. So they may or may not come back depending on whether they're satisfied. Okay, they're called trial students. So if you get good reviews from trial students or regular students, it pushes your algorithm. So you want to work towards that consistent activity and all. So let's move on to Preply. This is currently one of my favorites because of so many advantages. All right. So first of all, you build your tutor profile. This is how Preply looks. Let me see. Let me see if I can show my Preply. A lot of international students call it Preply. It's actually Preply. Okay, let me see if I can share the. Okay, I can't really share this. And I can share it. I just want you to take a look at my profile on Preply. Okay. Okay, no, for confidential reasons, I won't share the profile. But Preply.com, of course, Preply.com, please just go to Preply.com and you will be able to sign up on Preply.com. Please sign up on Preply.com. It's very important. You have to have an introduction video, you have to have a Twitter profile, and then you get to set your rates. Okay, you get to set your rate. Now, I see some Nigerians on Preply, they set $3 per hour. You know how we think in Nigeria because it's dollars, so you're thinking 4,500 naira per hour is a big money and all of that. That is a turn off for a lot of students. That is beggarly because you need to know the set of people you're working with. I mean, have that global mindset, right? So people charge as much as $50 per hour in the UK for private lessons. So you're doing one-on-one and you don't want to seem beggarly, especially given the country that we're coming from. Nigeria has a very negative image globally. So you want to really put a price tag on yourself that you are worth, but don't be too expensive, right? So I advise the fair place to start is between $7 per hour to $10 per hour. I started from $10 per hour. Okay, so you can do that for a couple of months, and after that, you can keep like working on it. So maybe like after 4 months you can increase to $15 per hour depending on what works for you. Now, but Preply is also very tricky because, okay, first of all, you get to set your price, of course, and then you get to meet a lot of students. Okay, you get to meet a lot of students, children, teenagers, and adults. So if you want to teach business English, they are there. Children, they're there. Adult teenagers, that is students in high school looking to write Cambridge exams and all that, they're there. So yeah, I currently have like 4 kids. I don't enjoy teaching kids between like 3 to 5. Of course, less than 3 can't come online to take classes, but 3 to 5, I don't enjoy taking them because they're very unstable. They don't have a good grasp of using technology so much. So much. That's the thing. You can't send students to somebody else. Do you understand? So you have to be on the platform, and all. Yes. So yeah, you can teach all sorts of students. I really enjoy teaching business professionals and corporate people. The reason is because it helps me read a lot and it helps me learn a lot. It's really helping me, and I find it interesting. It's helping me build my own intellectual capacity. So, but the cons, number one, is that the platform takes commission. If, for example, you're charging $10 per hour, for a start, the platform takes 33% of whatever you earn per hour. So that means you're left with $6.67. What am I saying? Around $6.7 or so per hour. But then as you take more classes, the commission keeps reducing. I think if you take like up to 500 classes, you get to, the platform takes 18%. That is the lowest they take. Okay, they don't go lower than that. Yeah, they don't go lower than that. That's 18% of your income. Okay, but it's still fair if you think about it, right? And if you know your onion and you play your card right, of course it would make sense in the end, because you'll be able, if for example you are able to charge $15 to $20 per hour, if you have grown your account to charge $15 to $20 per hour, you'd see that the commission they earn is relatively, scratch my back, I scratch your back. They bring you the students, you give them some money, and everybody goes home happy. All right, so another thing is that it works with competition. So you have to respond to messages fast because trial students, when they check you out and they're impressed, they want to try you out, they send a message. So who responds fast? Because they're sending a message to like maybe 10 people or 8 people at a time or in a day. So it's just a competition. So you have to respond to students very fast. Then you have a way of licking their ear. What I call licking their ear is just, yeah, telling them what a typical student will want to hear about your teaching style, what they're likely to gain from working with you and all that. So you lick their ear like that, and if it works to your favor and they see your message and they want to opt in with you, they would book for a trial lesson. Okay, so of course, this platform, another problem with it is it works with consistent availability. So sadly, if you have a job, Preply would be very slow for you to grow on, because I know people who say that they have joined Preply for months and they have not gotten even one trial student. And that is very possible, especially if you're doing other stuff. So yes, I don't know how you want to work around that, but Preply works with consistent availability. If your hours, because of course, if you have a day job and you're working 9 to 5, it means that your 9 to 5 on Preply, on your calendar on Preply, is going to be blocked. And if it is blocked, it means that students cannot book you at those times. And if they can't book you at those times, the algorithm keeps taking your profile down. It's so sad, but that is how it is. That is just the thing with Preply. That is just the thing with Preply. I'm trying to, okay, I won't be able to show this slide. So that is the thing with Preply. It works with availability. So think about it. If you are currently not working and you're looking for a source of income, please do this. You keep your availability on all the time, and then you'll be able to pull in trial students. From trial students, you'll get regular students and start to move from there. But if you don't have time, it would not work to your favor so easily, okay? Just so you know. And then Preply works with high quality profile and video. Very important to Preply. Like you have to have a professional, professional, I'm going to screenshot. You have to have a professional Preply. Yes, it's for teaching English as second language. Not just English, by the way. You learn different languages on Preply. There are people who teach Spanish, who teach Italian, who teach Portuguese, who teach Turkish on Preply. So yeah, people who teach English as well. So please, profile and video has to be high quality. And then you have to start to gather reviews from students from your month 1. That is why you have to work hard to secure your first student in month 1 so that you can secure a review. So reviews also really pushes your profile up. Okay. I've talked about the response rate. Then the third one I want to talk about, I'm talking about these 3 as what you can start working on today. Okay, then I would list other sites that you can check out. The reason why I know people get really overwhelmed when it comes to teaching online is because they're here, they're there, they're here, different requirements, and you're overwhelmed. So just calm down, take 1 or 2 and work on for at least 1 month. Okay, let's be patient with making this money. Just let's be patient. All right. So Upwork is a freelance platform. Probably some of you probably know it. So you can apply for different jobs on Upwork, including teaching. You can apply for teaching on Upwork. Okay. Now, how it works is that, of course, you apply, but here the platform does not give you students. The platform just gives you job opportunities. For example, it can show you that somebody is looking for a teacher to teach their child, or their son or daughter English, or somebody is looking for a teacher that will teach them business English and all that. So you get to apply on the site, and then with Upwork, you have to buy Connect to apply. So you have to be able to invest in this one. You have to buy Connect. When I started working on Upwork, I didn't work on Upwork as a teacher. I worked on Upwork as a customer service representative. So I would always buy Connect to apply for a job. And in a month, I would spend like 50,000 Naira. And seriously, it took me up to 4 months to land my first gig. But the first gig I landed, it made up for all the tears. It made up for all the tears. It was $1,200 per month. At that time, it was a lot of money for me. It was the biggest money I would ever earn. So it was worth all the month of the struggle. Okay. That is why even when I'm thinking about having a practical session, I won't lie to you and I won't deceive you. This thing takes time and it takes attention, right? So you have to invest time in it, but in the coming months, it will pay off and we will be balling in Abuja together. All right. So the pros is that there is higher pay opportunities. Of course, you can get as much as $20, $25 per hour, depending on the job description for Upwork. And then long-term clients are possible. It's possible for you to, meet a client that would draw up yes, of course. Yes, of course. Is it true that Upwork retains $1,000 in your account? No, that's not true, please. That's not true. So long-term clients, of course, you can convert some clients to personal clients and go like that. By the way, if you have other skills aside teaching, really explore Upwork, especially if you have the time and monetary investment. Yes, I would share the slide, please. It's a document. So if you have the time and monetary investment, please try Upwork. Yeah, try Upwork because you can, if you're a graphics designer, if you're a customer service, if you have a fine voice and you can do customer service, you can do call center, try Upwork. Okay, so I would tell you the strategy for Upwork. I put it down here. The strategy for Upwork is not, what people call luck, is not actually luck, is, in life, the way life works is the more number, for example, if you're playing a dice, the more number of times that you throw a dice, the higher the chances of hitting a particular number. You're my sister too. Okay. So the more number of times you play a dice, the higher the chances of hitting number 2. If, for example, number 2 is your goal. So the more jobs that you get to apply for, the higher chances that you are going to hit your dream job. So for Upwork, I always advise, see how, if you have the monetary investment to maybe buy Connect for between 50 to 100K monthly, that's if you have the money. You can apply up to 10 to 15 jobs daily, depending on your skill set and depending on the number of jobs available for that role. So you can apply up to 10 to 15 daily. The higher you apply, the higher the chances. At the end of the month, you would have applied for so many jobs, maybe 300. And there's no way that one should not click. If one doesn't click that month, the next month we try again. Do you see that? So it really works with the more you apply Upwork. Now you have to, I talked about reviews already. Then for Upwork, also starts with a slightly lower price to gain traction. What I mean by slightly lower price is not $3, please. It is, in my advice, $7 to between $7 to $10, right? Some people do $5. It's okay, but I wouldn't. All right. So other ESL platforms that you can explore, Cambly. I'm going to share this document with you. Amazing Talker, Engo, blah, blah, blah. So all of this, Cambly has a lot of clients actually, but then there are others that don't really have a lot of, like Italki, highly selective. It's highly selective. But then again, just check it out and who knows the one that will work for you. You can also check out Flalingo, very amazing platform as well. Okay. So currently I use around 5. I use around 5. So, but I didn't start with 5. I started with 2 and then I started to explore others. So right now I use 5 of these platforms to teach. So start with like 2 and then we can move from there. Okay. So I've talked about all these things that boost your profile algorithm. Now, how to retain students and build loyalty. I've told you how you can apply to land your first gig or your first teaching job online. Okay. So the way to retaining students is very important, because again, this is where I say that if you put money forward, you are going to make mistakes. And if you make mistake on any of these platforms, and for example, a student gives you a bad review is not, it's not like Facebook comments that you can delete. A bad review is there on your profile, and is just for a student to say teacher doesn't come early to class, or the teacher is not kind, or something like that. It is going to push your profile down below. So do you see that? That's why what we do at Character Room is very important, because at the peak of everything that we're talking about, making money, becoming resourceful, and all of that, values, character is at the top of it. So focus on retaining students and building loyalty, credibility, very important. So number 1 is deliver high quality classes with structured lessons. Now, let's assume that you have, after month 1 or month 2 or month 3, depending on what your process is, because some people's process can take even 6 months to, so can take 6 months to get you the first student. But no matter what your process becomes, let's say you have gotten your first client, you have landed your first gig, congratulations. So let's talk about how to actually carry out the teaching on for your student as an ESL student. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to see if okay, I think I forgot to add that. Okay, I'll just go through it quickly. So how to carry out the actual class for your student. So first thing that you want to do is you want to find out the level of the student. I'm going to add it in this resource. I just discovered I didn't write it. It's very important. The English level. So in English, students are divided into several categories, namely A1, A2, A3, not A3, sorry, B1, B2, C1, C1 plus, and then of course there is the native speakers, which you are as the teacher. Okay, so A1, A2 is the levels is talking about their English level. So like on Preply, Preply gives the students a placement test which determines their level. So as the teacher, you're going to receive the results for their placement test. If the student is on A1, that means the student is a complete beginner. These ones are seriously difficult to teach, because it means that, for example, if it's a Spanish student, it means that they don't understand English. Just imagine that somebody is speaking pure Igbo, you don't know Igbo, and you have to teach the person English. It's a big task. So you have to start developing or looking for materials that are very pictorial, because you can't speak the English, you can't speak Spanish with the student. It has to be English because they're here to learn English. So you can't say this in Spanish is this in English. No, you have to use pictures. Then you have to use short, very short sentences, very short sentences. For example, it is an apple. It is an apple. And you keep saying that in one lesson, you can just learn, very small stuff. Then you go back to sounds, English sounds, and you go back to English letters. Yes, you go that basic, even if it's an adult, even if it's a business professional, because there are business professionals that only know their profession in Italian, and now they want to take English lessons. So you have to start from the basics of English, which is the sounds, the alphabet. I'm going to add it here according to the steps. The sounds, the alphabet, and all that. That's for A1. So for A2, they're beginners. They can't hold a conversation, but they know basic things. They know numbers, they know the sounds of the alphabet. They can even read simple sentences, but they cannot hold conversations in English. So these ones are better because, of course, you have to use short sentences as well, but your materials have to be graphic. Okay, so I'm going to share. This is not for. So this is one of the resources. Okay, I'm not sharing yet. Let me share. Okay, this is one of the resources that I use very well. It's actually meant for ESL learners. I was able to get this because I worked with the British school one time. So I was able to get access, a British company rather. Okay, so for example, this is business communication, arranging a meeting. And in this lesson, it talks about writing email. So for these students, they are not A1 or A2. They're actually a B2 student. It means B2 is upper intermediate. So they have some idea about English. They understand some of the grammar, but they are not able to make correct sentences so much, and they get stranded when they're speaking. They don't know how to put vocabulary together. So this material is for one of such students. I took the student last I took the student last night, 11 p.m. and is somebody that works with Netflix, but Netflix doesn't understand English. He is Korean, actually. Okay, so this is what we used for our lesson. So now, this is what I do. Aside this, okay, first of all, I said I was going to show you something. So when I have my first class, this is what my first, so when I have my first class, very, very important tip. When I have my trial lesson with students, I would usually take notes like this. It's also my way of impressing the students. So what I do is I take notes like this because I'm trying to flaunt my skills, right? So I would take notes like this because in the first lesson, you're getting to know the student, you're getting to know their goals for learning English and how you can support them. So I have questions. I ask them, what do you do? Where are you from? Do you love your job? And all those questions. So as they say it, I note down exactly, not everything, because I'm not able to type that fast since I'm human. So, but I'm able to type out most of the things that they say. And then after the students have said everything, then I would now share my screen to give feedback about their speaking. This works like magic because the student always feel like they always feel like you give attention to details, and it always helps, right? So I would now say, okay, so I have a note from our conversation, and this is what you said. For example, I said, what do you do? The student said, I'm an HR. I'm an HR. So I'm like, okay, so instead of saying I'm an HR, the correct way to say it is I work as a human resource professional. And the student also just mentioned he said, I'm an HR multicultural company. Do you get the point? So I was like, okay, you say in a multicultural company, heads and stuff like that. Do you get my point? Just use emoji if you get my point. Okay. All right. So, and then I put a strike through what the student said and show them what the correct one is, and I bolden it. Right. Okay. And I do that. So for everywhere the student made a correct sentence, I put an emoji just to make it a bit more interesting. I say, that is good. Correct sentence, correct sentence. So this one is not correct sentence. Something wrong with the sentence. I put this emoji. And then I put the correct one so the student has this in their folder. This is what one of the folders, for one of the platforms I work with. So I create a Google Docs, Google Drive folder. So this is a folder containing some of my students, right? So in the folder, for every lesson that we do, I have like an extension activity that I'm giving to the students as a self-study material. I would open one for you as well to see, because I want to. All right. Okay. So yeah, so this is how the first lesson looks like. All right. Where was I before? Let me go back to where I was. Okay, so I was talking about the different levels. I said, depending on the level, you are this British, this what is it called now? Oxford book is very amazing. If you can get it, you get it. I got it through an organization. I got my login through an organization because it's a British organization. So find a way to get the Oxford book, because the Oxford site gives you access to the different materials in different levels. Do you understand? In different levels and a range of activities. I would show you something. A range of activities in the different categories of the English language, the vocabulary, let me show you. Okay. So this is business English for B2. Good. This is what I want to show you. So you see that, for example, this unit talks about first impressions, talking about first impressions, that's working with words. Then business communication, arranging a meeting, practical speaking, exchanging contact details, language at work. This is where we do the grammar. Present, simple, and continuous. And then the talking point, which is the speaking practice, the life overlap, right? So the method of teaching in Nigeria, which is the teacher does a lot of talking, cannot work here. So you also have to be able to modify and understand that because the way to learn a language, the way to learn to speak a language is by speaking the language. So if a student comes on the call and you do all the talking, they are never going to learn to speak the language. Right. So the good thing with this Oxford book is it gives you a range of activities and questions that you can keep asking the students. They give you responses, you make corrections and say, oh, you can say this in this way, you can say this in this way, and all that. Okay. And so after a typical class from maybe one of this book, I also use other websites to get materials just in case I'm not seeing what I want in the Oxford book. So after a typical class like this, I then go ahead to use ChatGPT. So I use ChatGPT to generate extension activities. Do you understand? Because the reason I do this is because aside these generic things that the students will learn from you and all that, you want to also build an activity. Let me show you something. I don't know if she has done this work, but I think we have worked on this. Okay. Okay. So this is one of the, have we worked on this? No, sorry, just give me a sec. Sorry, our time is fast gone, but I will just try to finish. All right, so this is one of the lessons
Please,
that I would.
Vicky,
Yes, ma.
please don't worry about the time. Don't worry about time. Just keep going. People can drop off at 8 when if they have things to do. But since it's online, and we can go as long as we can. And then let's just make sure we finish this so we don't come back to you. No, don't me, I will come back to you personally for something I want to
No
ask.
problem, ma.
But
Yes.
let's finish everything today.
Okay.
Take
that's
it
fine.
slow.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So this is one of the lessons that I generated. So we had done so we had done a class using Anu, please mute your mic. So we had done a class on cultural identity at work with this student. She's also a business professional. So I generated this class from ChatGPT. I always go back and forth with ChatGPT because I would say, no, I don't want this. It would help me generate a text amazingly. I would say generate a text on this particular topic. I want from the text to be able to I want to be able to generate key vocabularies about cultural identity at work. I want the text to be able to have 3 paragraphs because of the level of the student and all that. So with that specificity, ChatGPT generates an amazing text for me. So this is what it generated for me, and after the back and forth I was comfortable with it and I took it up. And then we did a speaking activity where she had to summarize the text where she had to summarize the text, and this is what she did, and I ticked it because it was correct after we did a few adjustments. And then the vocabulary part of it, we looked at some words. You can see all my comments and emphasis in blue just to make it more interactive. And as we teach, she's able to type into this document. That's the good thing with using Google Workspace. That I always use Google Workspace. So I always open a Drive folder for my students so that whenever I'm asking you to do, just know you are uploading there. It's our central place. It's our personal classroom, and we can always find everything there. So when we're working on this Google document, the student has it open on their computer, and I also have it open. So as I type, they type. For example, the student typed all of this in red. The student typed it in red after I gave this work to fill in the blanks with the vocabulary that we looked at, right? And then all of these questions. So mine is in blue, the student is in red. Mine is in blue, the student is in red. And then every activity and the likes. Okay, something that she's supposed to do and get back to. Okay, so that's typically how I do my class. I'm just trying to tell you that no matter where you get your resources, make sure that you develop a lesson that is truly interactive, because you don't just want to be doing the speaking. So you can use interactive tools like this. I also use Canva as an interactive tool. I use Canva Whiteboard as an interactive tool. So I just get to upload a worksheet there, or I use the plain tool, like that my 3-year-old student that is giving me plenty headache. I use Canva for her whiteboard because I would just put image of something. She loves coloring, she loves to draw, so it always excites her with anything I want to teach her. If I'm teaching her about colors, if I'm teaching her about shapes, if I'm teaching her about numbers, she has to color and draw, because that's what can keep her focused on me on the screen. Okay. So I'm just saying that make it as interactive as possible, and that's the way to maintain the focus of the student, especially online, since it's not physical for you to scream the way we typically do. So you have to keep it engaging. The students should be doing something on the screen on their end. You also should be doing something else. They would be in class and they are not listening to you. They're doing something else. Okay. All right. So let me move from this. Okay, so I said use tools like Google Docs, Canva, ChatGPT for collaboration, okay? Then monthly assessments, this is something I also do with all my students. So if you have your first student, one of the ways to impress them, and impress because a lot of teachers don't do it, is monthly assessment. Now the platform doesn't give you, some platforms generate monthly assessment for students, but not the popular ones, right? I think that's the different thing that some upcoming platforms are trying to do. So one thing you want to do that would increase, that would like give you a thumbs up every single time is monthly assessment. So how I do that is the last call that I have with the student for the month, we are going to have an assessment. So I would assess you on speaking because all the classes are on all the proficiencies, the speaking, the vocabulary, the punctuation, the grammar. So I would assess you on everything that we have done for the month. Sometimes I use Google Forms and just put quizzes, especially when it has to do with sounds like phonemes. So I can put Google Forms and ask which of the words contains this phoneme and all that. So just depending on what you're teaching the student. So please do that. It's very important. So imagine telling the student, okay, what do you think from the assessment? What do you want me to focus on in the next class? What do you want me to, do you want us to do more grammar? And the assessment is showing that, okay, the student has improved in this area and they just love to know. It really helps. It has really helped me a lot. Okay. So, so build your personal brand for direct leads. Now, everything I've told you is how to use third-party platforms to start. So once you have started, the aim is not to forever depend on third-party platforms. The aim is to use it to step up your game so that you can then build your personal brand. Every teacher should have a personal brand. So the way to do that, LinkedIn sells in this very well. I've not been using LinkedIn for that, but I'm preaching to you what I know works, but I've not been using it because I've been really busy, very busy. So what you can do is, as you start to teach from day one of your first teaching, start to make clips, video clips, short clips of like peak moments in your lessons, right? And then start to take screenshots of your time in class. I have a lot of screenshots. I have a lot of videos in my archive that anytime I want to post, I would start. And then start to also screenshot reviews. Very important. You need to screenshot what students are saying about you. Okay. And for reviews, I know that a lot of people ask for reviews, but for me, I always feel somehow asking for reviews is like, I don't know, Sha, but I always feel somehow. So, but it's weird to say, it's weird to me. I don't know. But yeah, some people do it. Some people ask for reviews. And then again, some students don't even know that it is important. Some students don't know it is important. So maybe after the second month with them, you can tell them, if they say something nice about you in class, you say, oh, you know, what you said is very important. Can you help me put it in the review? It will really help my profile. So you can do that with students that you've taken for like 2 months because they're more comfortable with you, and gather your reviews. This would help you build a personal brand. So then you post consistently, of course, and then you get to the peak of a career when leads start coming directly to you. At this point, there's no commission rate, there is no third-party hassle. It's just you rising as a global talent in the ESL space. And that's the goal. That's where we want to get. That's where you should want to get, okay? Where you are now an authority in the space, and you don't need to be on any platform to make a lot of money globally, okay? So yeah, I think that's it basically. So I'll just talk about bonus resources for tutors. So these are the two major platforms aside Wikidemi Hub, which is upcoming. These are the two major platforms that are rising. Oh, Augustina is like your high prep ambassador. Okay, they are upcoming and rising. So please, if you are teaching other subjects and you're here listening to me, you can explore high prep or Tutoria. They are Nigerian platforms. Tutoria actually takes a lot of commission. I think they take 45%. I've never worked with Tutoria. I tried, but the administrative process is just too long for me. So plus I don't like Naira paying online companies. All right, so hey God. All right, so please try out High Prep and Tutoria if you're teaching other subjects. And then other global tutoring platforms where you can meet other people from other countries, which by all means you should explore. SuperProf, Teacher On, My Tutor, ClassGap. I know of SuperProf because I use SuperProf. Teacher On, I started an application, but I couldn't finish. I don't even have the time now, so I can't say much about it, but I have friends who are on Teacher On. Now, another thing I want to say is if you find somebody, because sometimes building a profile that stands out can take a whole lot, and some people don't have the strength and the energy. So I have a friend, and what she does for people, not for teaching, customer service, she would set up your profile for you, and upon your first gig, you pay her 50% of your pay. So that is really huge. It might not be huge to you because you'll be thinking, it's dollar now, $500, I'll be okay. No, when the money comes, you will not be okay. You will not be okay. Okay, so yeah, that's one thing that people do. So you might find people who want to do that for you, set up your profile. I know of one of my senior friend. I don't know. I think she's here. She's here, Auntie Enki. She told me about one time, and that one you have to. I think she said, was it 15,000 naira? That's for native camp. I think that time I was trying to apply on native camp, 15,000 naira. The woman or the lady gets to set it up for you, and then that is it. Okay, so there are people like that set up profile. Me, I've not started that business yet, but maybe I should. Right. So, but yeah, that's what some people do. They charge you for setting up your profile, and once you get your first gig or upon your first month payment or something like that, they gain a commission, and that's their payment. All right. So from everything that I've said now, these are 7-point agenda that you can start now, today, I mean. Number one, please start, if you don't have an ESL certification this month and you want to teach ESL to foreigners, please by all means start your application today. You can not start your application, start the class today. On Teacher Record, you can apply, and today you can start the class. It's 120 hour, so just start today and then you can finish within a week or two, depending on how flexible your schedule is. Of course, you have to have a professional profile photograph and an introduction video handy, because once you start applying, these are things that would be demanded of you. Then start applying on at least one platform today, please. Okay, no need to procrastinate, just start and pin the tab on just pin the tab so that you can always come to it, okay, as you gather other evidences. And then set a daily or weekly application goal, especially if you're going for freelance platforms. By the way, I didn't talk about tutor.com. Tutor.com is also very amazing. Tutor.com, I got one client one time from tutor.com, but I didn't sustain it because of time. So tutor.com is an amazing platform as well to get. So please just set a daily or weekly application goal. On tutor.com, you also pitch yourself to clients like Upwork. You pitch yourself to clients, you see their application intention, and then you pitch yourself to them, tell them what you can do for them and all that stuff. Then be patient and consistent. Please be patient and consistent. The growth takes time. So the thing is that no matter the webinar that is done, it is always 1% of the crowd that actually practices. And that's fine. I always understand this when I'm speaking. I know that it is 1% of the crowd that will always follow through to the latter. Yeah, 1% will always follow through to the latter. A whole lot of other people will be like, nice idea. Ah, this girl is trying. Ah, very nice. I'll start today. Some people will even start as I'm talking. Some people will, but trust me, 1% will follow through. But you be that 1% that will follow through to the latter. You'll be like, this Preply, if you don't see my end, I will see your end, or something like that, right? So you follow through to the latter until you get results. Sometimes it can take a whole month and you have not landed your first client. You have not landed your first client. That's the truth. I'm not all these online gurus that will tell you that land your first client in 24 hours, excuse me. If you do, if it happens that way, it will most likely, yes, Gradely too. Yes, please, I'm going to add it. Gradely too. I've not used it, but I have a friend that uses Gradely, and very awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing. So I was saying that it can take a week, it can take a month, it can take 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. So even give yourself a target of now till December. If you can put in the requisite work between now to December, and you just pick two platforms or 3 platforms to work on. I tell you what, let me tell you something about Preply. For example, if you start to charge, if you're even charging $10 per hour on Preply, and you are able to work hard, I'm telling you, within a month, you can be teaching for up to 8 to 10 hours in a day. Now, if you teach 8 to 10 hours in a day, let me be extreme to say 10 hours. If you're able to build your profile to take 10 hours in a day, you would be earning around $70 per day. So this is not, it's not fake motivation. I'm sharing reality with you. Okay? It's reality. So I'm just saying that, but before you get to that point, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency. And not everybody is meant for it. Not meant for it. That's not what I meant to say. Not everybody wants to do that. Okay. I'm saying that if, for example, you are charging, say, $10 per hour for Preply, and you grow your profile, you're able to secure in a month. I can tell you this because, say, the first 2 months on one of the platforms I used, I didn't get any clients. I didn't get any clients. I was just there, opening my availabilities, just tweaking my profile, just adjusting some things, using some keywords in the profile and everything. It was in the 3rd month that I got my first client. After I got my first client, I did so well in the trial lesson. The client subscribed, and then we started to push like that. And in a week after I got my first client, I got up to like 13 trial lessons, 13, and around 7 converted to a regular student, to a subscribing student. Okay, so within a month, you are able to grow. This is possible. You are able to grow to having up to 15 to 20 students. And if you're able to do that, even if they're taking 5 hours per month, even if you're having 5 hours per student per month, you should be able to work 8 hours every day. So now my point is, if you work 8 hours every day and Preply takes their percentage, and you have $6 or approximately $7, and you get to work 8 hours every day, that will be 8 times 7, which is 56, right? So that will be $56 every day. And that makes sense. That makes sense for a start. So $56 every day, if you decide to work for 30 days, which you shouldn't, just keep 1 day to rest. Okay, so but I'm just trying to tell you that out of 24 hours, if you dedicate 8 to 10 hours to work like that and it pays you well, that is a good deal. So my point is, put in the work and start. It takes a lot of time and effort. It has cost me a lot. It has cost me, in fact, it has cost me a lot. Just trying to bury my head in this, it has cost me a lot. Unanswered messages that I have, not calling people a lot because I don't even have the time and all that. I'm just trying to see how I can balance my life now. But it's cost me a lot to put in the work, and I'm happy that it is really paying now. Okay, so of course, keep improving your teaching skills and knowledge. Keep improving. For me, I go to YouTube, I watch those white guys, the way they teach, I adopt their lessons. In fact, sometimes when I see some of their slides, I would go and design something like that. And okay, I didn't show you my slide. Let me show you my slide. The slide that I use for business professionals when in our first lesson. This is what it looks like. Now, pretty much this slide is not really not everything is my idea. The color combination, of course I would tweak it and all that, but I got the idea from different videos that I've watched online to see how people are doing it. Just like you now, you can steal my idea and, tweak it to your own color, the way you want it, your own taste, and, just put it there, right? So this is what we cover in our first lessons, trial lessons. So we have.
We're not seeing your screen. We're not seeing your screen.
I think it's from your end. I can see it from here.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's our network. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can see it now.
Okay. So this is like pretty much what it covers. This is where I ask the students a lot of questions, because I'll tell the students, oh, I need you to speak a lot. I need you to express yourself, because the more you tell me, the more I'll be able to assess your speaking, your vocabulary, and your listening, so that I can know exactly what is going to work for you. I would lick the students' ear like that. They would feel comfortable. I would say, oh, I know in the first lesson, it is normal to feel nervous and you're not sure what to expect, but it's me and I don't bite. It's Victoria. I don't bite. So please talk to me. And then I would lick their ear like that, get them to speak. We would talk, then I would give them feedback. This is where, everything they have said, we'll now start talking about it. I'll now tell them, oh, you said this, you should say this. You said this, you should say this, and all that. So I would now tell them how lessons are organized. So I will flaunt my teaching style, what I do before the lesson, during the lesson, after the lesson. Then I would ask them further questions. So imagine question like number 3, how often would you like to have online classes with me? So I'm already trying to say, I'm pretending as if I don't know that the students may or may not. Sometimes students are taking trial lessons with like 3 or 4 teachers. So I would now say, oh, how often would you like to have online classes with me? Right. Or I would say, what exactly would you want me to add to our classes? I would just keep personalizing things as if I don't know the student is checking me out. I would just do it like that because, yeah, it's my own selling style and you can definitely steal it, right? And then I would always have a quick demo lesson. This particular demo lesson is for business professionals. So we talked about introducing yourself and all that stuff. And then the last slide where the student gets to ask question. Oh, okay. All right. So you get my point. So keep improving your teaching skills, copy from people and refine to fit or suit your personality. Okay. And then, of course, I said, start preparing your LinkedIn profile. If this is what you want to do full time for the long run, start preparing your LinkedIn profile to reflect that this is what you do. You are a tutor and you teach online and you have expertise in these tools, that tools and whatever. Okay. So, okay, this is the sample introductions video script that I said, something that you can learn. Of course, tweak it depending on your expertise, the number of years of experience. So hi, my name is Victoria and I'm a certified English tutor, or I'm an ESL tutor, I'm an ESL tutor with about a decade of experience teaching kids, teenagers, and adults. I specialize in helping adults. So if this is your specialty and you want to attract more adults, or you want to attract more children, you can just tweak it, right? So this is just a skeletal frame. So I specialize in helping adults improve their business English, communication skills, and confidence. My classes are fun, interactive, and designed around your personal goals. I look forward to seeing you in class and helping you achieve your English learning dreams. Okay, so this is typically one of the scripts I used on one of the platforms, but you can tweak to suit your goals, to suit your experience, your expertise, your personality. You can just tweak, but you have this as you want to talk about your name, your years of experience, your specialization, and then the nature of your classes, which is mostly fun and interactive. Okay. All right. So that's it. So my final words to you would be that consistency, patience, and quality are your biggest tools. That's the truth. Consistency, patience, and quality are your biggest tools. Consistency and patience and quality, they're your biggest tools. Okay, so let's start today, and by December, I want us to, in Character Room, to give ourselves a target of now till December. Okay, if we start doing the work consistently, patiently, and we're putting our best foot forward and putting out quality content and classes, we are going to be earning in dollars. Yeah, before the year ends, at least you would land a first. Yes, let's start a challenge. We can start a challenge. So a challenge to do this consistently from now till December, and you would have, if you follow just what I've said, I promise you, it might not take up to that, but let's just be generous with time and say now till December. But it will not take up to that if you follow through. You would be landing your first, second, third, fifth, seventh clients, international clients that would pay you in dollars. Okay, so maybe Agnes will help us put together the challenge, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope that you learned one or two things. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you are not clapping, I'm wondering what you are doing. If you are not actually clapping, because I'm just seeing few people sending out emojis. If you are not clapping, what are you actually doing? Auntie Augustina, you want us to sleep here? She said we should continue. We are not continuing anything. Hey, Jesus, this has been so amazing. Thank you so much, Victoria. As in, like, it's just pouring yourself out. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to even thank you. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. We are going to take in questions. It's 8:24. I don't mind staying here. Augustina said we should stay here till evening. I'm okay. I don't have so much. No. We have a meeting. But we can stay here as long as everybody is comfortable. But we're going to take questions or feedback. But trust me, you have only 1 minute. And once it's 1 minute, I'll mute you so that we can gather every other person. This has been an amazing session. Please, if you have comments, if you have feedback, if you have questions, Vicky is here. Remember, she's a busy woman. She has decided to give us her money. Let's just use it, and we'll take all these questions and then feedback, and the conversation can continue on our WhatsApp page. Please, we can now take up every other conversation on our WhatsApp page. The WhatsApp is for us to engage, so you don't need permission to start up something on the WhatsApp so that people can engage and talk with you. If you want to learn more, because there's so much that I don't know how she managed to even help us with all those stuff, but if you want to learn more, you can just go back to our LinkedIn page, and not LinkedIn, YouTube, and get all those information. Thank you so much. Yeah, people pay millions like for this kind of session. That's why when I talk about these types that I'm talking about, everybody will think, Flora, you're old, not too much. I know what I'm saying. Anyway, we give freely and we receive freely, but the most important payment that you are going to make to us here, even to Vicky, to appreciate her, is for you to start today. I'm really, really, really interested for you to start today. Okay. Let's go. Vivian, your hand was up. Was the first hand to. Vivian, please. Vivian, are you on the call?
Everybody.
Okay, go. Augustina.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for this wonderful session. So my question, I have questions actually. So the first question is on LinkedIn. So you've talked about, we're talking about our work. So what if you are this kind of person that maybe have many things? For example, you are into community development, and then you're into other things, so not just specifically online tutoring and all of that. So how are you going to like position yourself in such a way that you won't be focusing on one, because each of them are important? That's one. Then the second question is this. So if you do not intend to start now, okay, personally, to be more specific, I'm a Teach for Nigerian fellow, and I have decided to give my full 2 years to Teach for Nigeria. But while doing that, I'll be developing myself so till I leave the fellowship. But I do not intend to like take any other work that would deprive me of giving my full commitment to Teach for Nigeria. So can I just register on those platforms? I won't necessarily seek for client, maybe be doing all of this you said, get the skills, get the tools, get everything, but will not necessarily start now. Does that work? Yes, that's all. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for the question. So the first question, you asked if you're doing a lot of things. Can you hear me, Augustina?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you, please.
Okay. So you asked if you're doing a lot of things, how are you going to put yourself out there? So for Upwork, if you are, for example, what you do, you say you do community development, volunteer stuff and all that stuff. So that is pretty much like a project management thing, and is something you can open a profile on Upwork and freelancer.com. So the way Upwork works, you can have different profile to your name. It's not illegal. It's like you can do that. For example, you can have one profile showcasing yourself as a graphics designer. You can have another profile showcasing yourself as a project manager. Do you understand? But I have a clause to that. It just makes you not intense on one thing. So for me, for example, on Upwork, I don't do teaching thing on Upwork. I just do customer. The way I used customer service was for, Upwork was for customer service, because it takes time to go through jobs and be able to apply, come up with an application that is compelling, and you have to do like 10 in a day. That is what I always advise. Volume. The higher number you do, the higher your chances to land a gig. Do you understand? So I would advise you stick to one thing per platform. And then if it's for tutoring, like Preply is just a language site. You can't teach mathematics and any other thing there. It's just for language. So it also depends on what the platform allows. But I would advise per platform, you sell one skill. Even on LinkedIn, you have to decide what you want to promote. Is it social impact or tutoring? And then 80% of your engagement should tilt towards that direction, and 20% can be here and there. Do you understand? So, but you have to decide what the image you want to promote, and then work towards it. Then your second question, I'm also an alumnus of Teach for Nigeria. So I pretty much understand what you're saying. In fact, I started teaching online before I started working with Teach for Nigeria. I couldn't keep up because where we stayed, no network, light is very unstable. I see lights like not all the time. Then later they fixed our lights, but network issues and school issues. You have to tend to the children. You have to do TFN stuff. You have to, others. So I lost a lot of students at that time, took a pause, and I think I only had like once in a while class like that with students and all that stuff. So I can pretty much understand. It's not even you that would decide that you want to focus on Teach for Nigeria. It's Teach for Nigeria. You will just see that you have to focus on it, because it doesn't, it's not flexible. It's a full-time role, and they tell you from the beginning. So it's not you that would decide that I want to choose to focus on. No, you can't choose. It's the call, right? So yes, I understand that. So about opening a profile now and leaving it until then, on some platforms you would get blocked if you just open a profile and leave it there. On some platforms you can open and leave it and revisit it next time, but it's not necessary. If you open it now and you're not ready to start taking up clients, why fill up the space for people? So just hold on. When you're ready to hit the ground running, then you can start opening your profile. But before then, like you said, you're gathering all the evidences and that you need. So yeah. So Rachel, your question, is there no way to manage it with work? Like I said, I've told you the pros and cons, and I really tried to be open and sincere by saying to you that I told you the platforms that works with how much you are available. When I started with Preply, I was not doing anything else. I have to be available because a student would send you a message, they need it, they are booking for a trial lesson in an hour's time. So I had to be fully available. That put my profile like up above. In fact, at some point I was number 12 on the profile scale. Yes, in search history, I was number 12 because I was fully available. So I was taking a lot of, so when I got to a certain number of students, 15, I then started reducing my availability. So I would block 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. so that I can truly sleep. But before that time, I can just sleep for 1 hour and pick my phone up and see that I have booking in the next 3 hours. It's chaotic. I know it's chaotic. I don't know how else, but that's just what it is. The algorithm pushes you if you are more available. Okay, but if you want to do something flexible like a freelancer, go for Upwork. But Upwork too, you would invest your money because you have to buy Connect to apply for jobs. So nothing is for free. So just choose your struggle, Sha.
I like that part. Nothing is for free. Just choose your struggle. You can decide also to just forfeit your sleeping time. I know some people who have their 9 to 5, but once it's 6, they are online teaching. And they will do that till about 4 a.m. They just have 1 hour or 2 hours to sleep and they are back to school. So choose your struggle. Yeah, know what works for you and then apply it. Okay, thanks so much, Vicky. And okay, let's go to Mrs. Fire. Please go ahead.
Hello, good morning, Madam Flora. Thank you so much for bringing Victoria to this platform. She's been awesome. Thank you, Victoria. So what I wanted was for you to just go to the Upwork where jobs are posted, you know, and tell us a little bit about how to evaluate jobs and maybe, you know, what to click to contact the client or to submit your proposal. You know, I just needed some idea on navigation of that particular site. I want to teach business education, so to say, like teaching or coaching those who want to start up business, those who want to know certain things in areas of business. So it's not teaching of English per se. So I think Upwork might be a good place for me, and I've already created my profile. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the question. By the way, you have a beautiful teacher voice, so you'll do well on those platforms. So for Upwork, Upwork is a lot. So what I'm going to do, because of your specific demand, I'm going to send you a video that explains this in details, how to submit your proposals, because it's a whole masterclass if we want to do Upwork. So I would send you a video. I can even send it on the group just in case any other person wants it. So that includes how to submit, yes, I will, how to create, submit proposal and all of those stuff. So I'm going to send it within the course of the day.
Right. Thanks so much. People, see what happens when you just open your mouth to ask for something. Ask and you shall receive. Even the Bible said it. Knock and the door shall be opened for you. Do you even know that there is a video? If not that she asked, and she asked in the chat, and Vicky was like, she asked again. Keep asking, oh. That's why they said you should not just apply to one this and you are going to sleep and waiting for the universe to do magic for you. You shall need to keep asking, knocking, telling people, talking to them, being in their face. Apply to 10. Some people are laughing at me. It's okay. If we know that's how far we'll be talking our own. Okay, so we have Mr. Emmanuel. Mr. Emmanuel, over to you. You have a question.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Vicky, thank you very much for the enlightenment and everything you said. Awesome stuff and all that. Ma'am, thank you for the opportunity you've given for Vicky to be in this platform. Tell us a lot. So my question is this: I started February teaching, online teaching, and so I have a targeted niche. My targeted niche is to reach out to parents, Nigerian parents in diaspora. I teach maths in the futuristic. I want to extend it to other subjects and other. But my targeted niche are mostly diaspora Nigerian parents that have children that need that need teachers that will teach their children mathematics and other science subjects. So presently I have two parents, so one in the UK, another in the United States. And yes, it's been fine and other, but I'm still open to other ways I could expand my reach and get more students and others. So how do I go about, though I have a targeted niche, is there anything you could tell me on how to source for more clients and get more students?
Okay. All right. Thank you for the question. And thank you. Yeah, thank you for the question. So first of all, Miss Flora said more dollars and pounds. But actually, the thing is that I don't personally, although my organization, my company, we have students that some of our teachers are taking, and they are students of parents, they are children of parents in the diaspora. And one thing I can tell you for free is that a Nigerian living abroad will never pay you in foreign currency. Hardly, very hardly. They would pay you in naira. They will even calculate it for you. If you come and charge in dollars, they will be like, you want to collect 15,000 naira. That they will calculate it for you in your currency. So yes, number one, Nigerian parents living abroad would hardly pay you in foreign currencies. That's number one. The next thing I want to say is about how to get students. The first thing you have to do is, of course, explore your network, do WhatsApp broadcasts and all of that. And then the second way to get the parents is through referrals. Exactly. So through referrals. Through referrals, please. So if you do your job well, Mr. Emmanuel, if you're able to prove your worth, those Nigerian parents have friends that are Nigerians in their churches, in their clubs or whatever, that have children as well. So they would recommend you, and you can ask for recommendation as well. You can ask them, oh, do you have somebody, can you talk to somebody, or you can send them your flyer. If you don't want to be direct, you send them your flyer and say, please share with your network and stuff like that. Okay. Then the third thing you can do is paid adverts. You can, if you have the capital, you can invest in running adverts, targeted adverts. So this targeted adverts would also target parents living abroad, Nigerian parents living abroad. Okay. So of course, to add to your quality, please, you have to be very conversant with the American curriculum, the Cambridge, all the Cambridge checkpoints, assessment and exams and all that. Just keep proving your worth, that although you are in Nigeria, you know what it is like schooling in the UK and in the US, and you know how to deliver. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, very well. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, thanks so much. Emmanuel, please keep digging, keep looking for. Okay, so Kule asks question. Kule says, which apps connects teachers and students for online teaching? I think she listed lots of apps.
Yeah, that's what I
Let's see,
said
Victoria.
since morning. That's what we've been talking about since morning. All of the third-party application, all the third-party sites actually connect teachers to students. That's why they are third-party. So they are connecting sites. So the Preply, the Native Camp, the Upwork, Cambly, Tutoria in Nigeria here, HiPrep, and the rest. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So do we have other questions or comments? Augustina, okay, your hand is up. Augustina, go ahead. Hi, Augustina, are you there? Augustina
Okay.
Roman.
We have two Augustina, so we need to know which one. Sorry, sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. We're writing exam, so I'm attending to teachers. Okay, here is it. I think we left. Okay, I wanted to add to what Vicky said concerning LinkedIn. Why I don't know, I can't remember who asked that question on LinkedIn, how you can put together yourself if you are into many things. I'm also into many things, but you will see everything on my LinkedIn page. Oh, my in-law, my wonderful in-law, I greet you. You people are taking good care of me. Okay, so I'm also into many things, but you will see everything on LinkedIn. But there is a way I do it. Majorly, I do teacher branding on LinkedIn. Majorly, if you go to my page, you'll see that you see teacher branding, teacher branding. That's my main niche on LinkedIn. Now, how do I bring in the fact that I also teach SEN, that's special needs, and I run a community for mothers who are educators and early years once in a while. Now, I plan my content. That's another way to show what I do. I plan my content. I've gotten speaking engagements based on early years. I've gotten speaking engagement based on being a mom educator. That's mothers who are educators. Now, what I do is with my content, I make sure that I find a way to fuse in some of these things. That's also if you are capable and you have the strength to run it, because it's exhausting most times knowing that you have to do this, you have to do the other one, you have to do the other one. I use my weekends most especially to talk about things related. I use weekends and Saturday, Sundays to talk about things related to motherhood, um, or online teaching. Most Fridays I put up my online teaching videos, and any other thing to relax people, for the weekend. Then when you come on Monday, Tuesday, you will see me telling you about teacher branding. And I use my Wednesday. Of course, I've not posted today. I have posting time. Anyone I meet, I have another time to meet up because I wanted to be in this meeting this morning. When you come on Wednesday, my Wednesday is either I talk to you about how to be a teacher. I just pick out of my niche just one and give a moral story on it. So you can as well put all these things, but it's not for people. If you are just starting out on LinkedIn, it might be difficult for you to arrange yourself in all these things. But if you know you can meet up with showing all the multi sides of you, follow what Vicky said. Focus on one and then go to another platform and focus on another. So that's just what I want to say. But if you know you can run it, it's possible. People can know you for all these things. Just for you to find a way to craft it in your headline. That's your bio message or something, but it's called headline anyways. If you can be able to craft it in your headline there, then people will actually know, oh, okay, this person is actually a teacher branding, but aside, branding expert, but aside that, she teaches online too. Just find a way to link it together. But you must be very, very, how will I put it, intentional about putting it together. But if you can't do it, focus on one.
Okay, thank you. I like the angle this is going, and this is what I will say. You can be anything you want to be. You can be as many things you want to be. It's happening just in your mindset. It's just before that they tell you just your purpose is one thing. Your purpose can be different things, and you have the ability. God has given you everything you need to be as many things as possible. And on LinkedIn is not Preply, is not this thing. On LinkedIn, you can tell the world, all the platform, anything that you are doing. Just like Augustina said, what do you put when? And you can tell LinkedIn is just like your CV. And on your CV, you have everything that you've been doing and you want to do. You just put all those things, take it as your website, and you don't just go on your website and write this thing. Just have everything that you are doing, put it nicely. It is having to structure it that is the main thing. You can be as many things as possible if you choose to, but how do you arrange it? So the part of where you are teaching, what do you put there? It's different. Just like Vicky said, if you're teaching English, you have to go to the English site. You not go to maths there, do and teach maths there. If you're on Upwork, focus on one thing, or even if you're focusing on two things, tie it around one key niche, which is, okay, you are a business educator. That means as a business educator, you also can coach people on writing business plan. You can help people do their BMSC, that's a business model canvas. You can also coach them on how to put their finances together. Those are different things, but you've tied them under business education. Find something that will hold every other thing that you're doing together, and keep evolving. I've already said to us here on this platform, if your LinkedIn page is not changing every 6 weeks, every 1 month, you're not improving, you're not growing. You should be able to gain knowledge, you should be able to tweak, you should be able to pivot, you should be able to do as many things as possible. Vicky indirectly told us she has not explored was that helping people do their profile. You never can tell. Tomorrow she says she's also doing that. By the time she has time in her hands, you say, okay, I have time to also help people build their profile. Does it mean she's going to throw away all the things that she's been doing? No, she's going to add to it, and then increase and update her profile to say, oh, I also help people do their profile and do some other things. So keep exploring, keep growing, and we need to leave this call now. Tomorrow we are Augustina is going to be here tomorrow. Augustina Roma is going to be here tomorrow. In fact, she and Agnes wanted to give me a heart attack when she said her timing is a bit, but this morning she confirmed she's going to be available for us tomorrow. So Augustina is coming. The same thing we did with Vicky today, we are doing with Augustina tomorrow, but we are focusing on children. Vicky is more into business community, where you get $1,200 per month. But we want to also learn how to teach children, and all the details about setting up our classes, Preply, all the stuff thing. No, not Preply. I don't know. Vicky, Augustina may have her own tiny niches that she's going to share with us tomorrow. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's session. And as much as possible, please invite other people. Invite your friends. I'm expecting that when you are learning something, that you have friends and neighbors that you want to tell about what you are learning. Don't learn all by yourself. Invite people to learn with you. The more your family, friends, acquaintances, they learn some of these things, the more they leave you alone. Because if you're learning alone and making all the money, they shall be collecting it from you. You make $15, they tell you that their tummy is spending them, you give them $2. Their mother's hand is spending her, you give $3. I want to buy baby this thing, you give $3, because you are giving. You do not show them where to make this money. So invite your friends, invite your neighbors. Share the links of the platform. That's this session is already on YouTube. We are streaming live, but you can also share with them. Let them go and learn and gain all this knowledge. So Patience says, I bought my video making kits after last week's session. Can you imagine? Some people take advantage of all these things that we are talking about. So please, everyone, you have opportunity to learn. You have opportunity to learn and grow, please. Okay. All right. Any other thing? So on Friday, we are bringing in someone else to come, and someone who is also doing well. She has built her own brand, Giant Strides, you know, to come and share with us a few other things that we need to do as we are thinking about this online tutoring. And I want to believe with tomorrow's session, today's session, tomorrow's session, and Friday's session. And if you did not get all the knowledge, I wonder what else can we do for you? We need to go and invite Jesus Christ to come and help you. Please use the knowledge. We are starting how many days challenge are we going to do? We are going to do 30 days challenge. I'm going to look for talk with Agnes. We are going to start a 30-day challenge, maybe starting it on Monday. By then we've learned lots of things. 30 days challenge. Like, if you are not, we will throw you out, and it's not for everybody. We'll just ask people who want to join the 30-day challenge. We've done it before when we did our vision boarding. Some people did, some people did not do. You now know. We are going to do 30-day challenge, and it's going to be massive. Like, you will apply to join. It's not everybody. We put it on the platform. You will join, and we will give you a partner. You would come and tell us and give accountability report of what your partner is doing and how you are doing it. You people know that everything I'm doing. You people know that everything I'm doing is because of impact. But most importantly, don't forget my tithes this December. Hey, it's well. Vicky cannot be your partner. Augustina, Vicky cannot be your partner because the two of you already are masters. So we are going to give you. You don't even share. Me and Augustina, me and Agnes will chat. We'll talk about this one. But why again? Why again? The two of you already are gurus. How can you be partners for each other? Don't start Ojoro in this platform. Okay. Have a beautiful day, everyone. And please start today. Start with your Upwork, because this morning I'm going to Upwork to revisit my profile. I don't even know what to do. All right, bye everyone. Thank you so much, Vicky. You are the best, and it's so amazing that you gave everything free without holding back, and it doesn't take away your customers. And that people will keep going to check you out. God bless you. No item 7. Augustina is coming tomorrow. When you come tomorrow, remind me about the 7. I'll give it to you. Bye everyone, and have a beautiful day. Please start today. I will ask us tomorrow which of the platforms did we open and whether we started registering our interest in all this platform. All right, bye for now. See you tomorrow. Make sure you bring 1 or 2 persons tomorrow. Tell them so that they cannot collect the one that you make. Bye.